We are on Chapter 2, Lesson 2, Percents and Fractions. Please turn to page 101. We're going to look at the real world length. Okay, so they've given us a 10 by 10 grid, which we know 10 times 10 is 100. So we have 3 out of 20, and I need to get that up to 100, so I'm going to multiply by, drum roll, 5. Very good. So 3 times 5 is 15. So I have to color in 15 of these. I know that that is 10, and that is 5, so that's 15. Then I have 3 of 25. I need to get that up to 100, so I'm going to multiply by 4. 4 times 3 is 12. I know one of these columns is 10, and I need 2 more of these little guys. Then I got 1 of 20 is equal to what out of 100? Again, this is times 5. So I color in 5 of these little guys. And the last one is 9 out of 100. I'm already there. So all I'm going to do is color up until I get to the very top and then stop at 1 less. So if 100 is the denominator, we can represent these numbers easily. This is 15 out of 100, 12 out of 100, 5 out of 100, and 9 out of 100. Before we turn the page, what do we know about 100? 100%, when we're talking about a pie, is filling in the whole pie. So, turn the page. So, percent is fractions. A percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. The magic number for percents will always be 100. So, to write a percent as a fraction, first write the percent as a rate per 100. In this case, we have write 50% as a fraction. So we know that 50% is 50 over 100 because we have percents over 100. And then all I have to do is simplify it, and I get 1/2. In number 2, a recent survey of 55% of cell phone owners said they text message. What percent is that? So we have 55 over 100, and I know that's divisible by 5, so I'm going to divide by 5. So 55 divided by 5 is 11, and 100 divided by 5 is 20. So in simplest forms, the fraction is 11/20. Get it, gotta go. Pause the video. Did you get what I got? 75 over 100 is 3/4. 90 over 100 is 9/10. And 38 over 100 is divisible by 2. So that's 19/50. All right, let's keep going. All right, example number 3, we have a word problem. The table shows the percent of each movie type rented during a month. What fraction of the rentals were action movies? So we have to come over here and find action. Action's 35%. And we need to write that as a decimal. Sorry, as a fraction. So we have 35 over 100. We know it's divisible by 5. So that becomes 7/20. And the answer is 7/20. Now we want to know horror movies. Use the graph above. Get it, gotta go. Pause the video. Okay, so did you get what I got? Horror is 5%. 5 over 100 simplifies to 1/20. So now we want to take fractions and get them up to percents. So we need to take the fraction 6/8 and see if we can get it up to 100. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is see if I can simplify it. In this case, I know it's divisible by 2. So that's 3/4. So I always write my proportions for percents with my percent on the left-hand side. I have percents over 100 is over up. We'll talk about that in another lesson, but I always keep the percent and 100 on the left side. So with that in mind, we need to figure out what percent this is. So we have 3/4, which was originally 6/8. So I come over here, I multiply by 25. I multiply the top by 25, and I get 75. 75 over 100 can be written as 75%. Yeah, got it, go. Very interesting that the got it ended up being the same answer. 9/12 simplifies to 3/4. And then I set up my proportion. What over 100 is equal to 3/4? And I know 4 times 25. Again, 3 times 25, and that's 75. But more importantly, let's go back to this problem. We know that we can take any fraction, 9/12, and we can make a decimal out of it by dividing. Down denominator don't go in the den, so 12 goes on the outside, 9 goes on the inside. 12 goes into 9 7 times, that's 84. 90 minus 84 is 6, bring down the 0. 12 goes into 65 times, so again you have a decimal of 0.75. I need to make that a percent. 2 bunny hops to the right, and I get 75%. We'll talk about decimal to percents in a minute. Turn the page. Okay, so again, life is more about word problems than it is about actual problems that you get to solve. Mitch made 12 out of 40 shots during the championship game. What percent is that? So again, line equal line, percent down here, and I'm looking for the percent there, so we put 100 on the bottom because everything is out of 100. So then I've got 12 and 40. And again, I'm going to look at those numbers and see if I can simplify that fraction. I know they're both divisible by 4. That would be 3, and that would be 10. And then I got to get it up to 100, so I'm just going to multiply by 10, and that would be 30. 30 over 100 is 30%. Get it, got it, go. Pause the video. Okay, I got 76%. And again, I had line equal line, or a proportion. Percent over 100, we didn't know the percent, so I put a box, equals 19 over 25. 25 goes to 100 4 times, multiply 19 times 4. 19 times 4 is 76. Now, many of you probably used a calculator. I will repeat this 3 times. You may not use a calculator. That is correct. You may not use a calculator. Last time, you may not use a calculator. Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4. You are not allowed to use a calculator for any of the problems. You must work every single one of them out by hand. Why? Because this is the chapter you need to know how to multiply and divide. So again, no calculators. Do the guided practice. Pause the video. Did you get what I got? In problems 1, 2, and 3, you put the percent over 100 and you simplify. So 1 is 3/20, 2 is 4/5. I had it at 8/10, and then I divided by 2, got 4/5. And then 33 over 100 is not simplifiable. And then again, write fractions as a percent. I didn't use a model drawing. I just put the numbers over 100 because I know, again, percent's over 100. So the box is what I'm looking for, which will be the percent. And then I have 3/10 multiplied by 10, that's 30%. I have another one, line equal line with 100 down in the left-hand corner, and I have 3/20. 20 times 5 is 100, so then 5 times 3 is 15, that's 15%, and then the last one is 40%. 7 out of 10 days, add a 0 to both, you get 70%. Why is it easier to understand fractions as percents? Because it's based on 100. When you think about a pie chart, it's easy to understand what it looks like. So we know that 75% is 3/4 of a pie, most of the pie. Again, it's easier to understand. See you in class. Bye.